In this video, I'm going to be showing you the smartest way to eat in order to lose weight and heal your body. And the main food types that you need to be eating and the main food types that you need to be avoiding so that you can start to lose the pounds, feel amazing, and be pain and medication free. It's a really simple concept, but for whatever reason, a lot of people always get this wrong. So I'm going to go ahead and cut through the noise and give you exactly what you need so you can start feeling the best version of yourself right now. Now, the first thing that we need to understand is everything living on this planet that has a mouth has a specific diet that it needs to eat in order to thrive. As long as it sticks to it, it's going to be healthy, but if it veers away from it, it's going to start to deteriorate and not be the best version of that thing. For example, birds eat worms. Right? You know that already, right? Cows eat grass. Chipmunks eat nuts. They know exactly what they need to be eating to get the nutrients that they specifically need so that they can thrive. Birds are not going out and eating cheeseburgers, and chipmunks aren't eating Oreos. Everything knows what it needs to be eating, and it sticks to the script so that it is the best version of itself. Yet, when it comes to humans, what is it exactly that we need to be eating and avoiding? Well, honestly, we've decided that if it tastes good, we're going to eat it. We want to eat everything. So we go to the grocery store and we assume that these things are designed for us to eat. And if we're here and we put it in our cart and it fits in our mouth, it's for us to eat. Or we look at the menu, whether it's through a drive-thru or fast casual or even sit down and say, okay, we have a menu, there's food here, let's choose what we should be eating. So we enjoy our food, and naturally we believe that if it fits in our mouths and it tastes good, then it must be for us to eat. But the telltale sign of if the things that we're putting in our bodies are actually good for us is not how it tastes, but is it causing our body to thrive or break down? Are our bodies healing or are they deteriorating? Are our bodies gaining more weight or retaining extra weight, or slimming down and losing weight to get back to our ideal weight? Are our bodies and our digestive system responding well to what we're eating or not? Or honestly, do we deep down know that what we're eating is not serving us, but we like how it tastes, so we keep doing it? But here's the results of doing the same thing over and over. Obesity is on the rise, being overweight, having extra body fat is on the rise, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, stroke, all these things are on the rise because it's directly correlated to what we eat. See, these things are called lifestyle diseases or chronic diseases, which always trace back to what we're putting in our bodies. And they're 100% reversible, and you do not have to have them. In essence, they're optional, and they only reveal or manifest themselves if our body's in a certain environment. The reason these things are prevalent is because we're not eating the specific diet that's suitable for humans. We're deviating and going off plan. Now remember, there's two food types that we're talking about today. So let's see which ones are healing and which ones are hurting. The first one we're going to talk about is dead food, aka meat and dairy. So things like cow's milk and beef and chicken and seafood and eggs and cheese and these types of things that come from animals. Now there's a clear correlation with eating these things and our bodies breaking down, as well as having extra body fat. Now regarding the meat and dairy and the things that we're eating from animals, over 80% of all antibiotics given or administered in the US are given to animals, which means that they're having disease, they're having infections and things like that. And then what happens is we send them to the slaughterhouse, and then they end up on our kitchen tables or in our restaurants. And we eat the things that are already sick, and then we end up getting sick as well. In fact, the World Health Organization labels processed meats as a class 1 carcinogen. And what does that mean? Carcinogen means cancer causing. So basically it's in the same category as cigarettes and asbestos. And what are those things? What are those processed meats? Well, deli meats and hot dogs and processed meats like bacon and pepperoni. things like that. All class 1 carcinogen. And then they will go on to label some other meats as class 2 carcinogens, such as pork and beef and lamb. And then we have poultry that contains a high amount of arsenic. And according to the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, eggs and dairy, meaning cheese and milk and things like that, increase the risk of cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, and cancer, as well as seafood that have high amounts of mercury and, with all the pollution, high amounts of microplastics within them as well. See, when we consume dead foods, over time, our body's check engine light comes on. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? You're driving down the road and you're having a great day, and then boop, right on the dashboard, you see the check engine light come on. And you're just like, oh man, I just got some money. I just got paid and I knew exactly what I was going to do with this money. And now I know that I'm going to have to give it to a mechanic. The worst. I don't know if y'all have been there. I know I have. And the thing is, when these lights come on, it's basically a courtesy. They're letting you know, hey, you got some stuff that's going on and you need to get it checked out as soon as possible. And if you don't, in short order, you're probably going to be on the side of the road broken down. Well, our bodies have their own versions of the check engine light, but many of us don't take them seriously until we get an unfavorable diagnosis or a forced hospital visit. Our body warns us with things like bloating and discomfort, poor sleep, skin issues, constant fatigue, brain fog, inflammation, the scale going up and up and up, sleep apnea, poor digestion, taking medications, joint pain, and so many other things. These are our body's version of the check engine light. But if we ignore that check engine light, if we're overweight, now we get obese. And then if you're obese, now you're dealing with type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes turns into heart disease. Heart disease turns into stroke. And it keeps on going. Now, a lot of people believe that just gaining weight and being uncomfortable as you get a little older is just part of life. But that's not necessarily true. It's true if you keep doing the same things over and over that you are going to get the same results. But you can change and live your best life right now. We are by and large not eating the diet that we were designed to eat. So it makes sense that we're breaking down and not feeling great. In fact, the obesity rate has tripled in the last 60 years. That showed that 40% of Americans are overweight or obese, and 20% of our kids are overweight or obese. Well, I'm here to let you know that there is a way out. There's a way to get that check engine light turned off and checked out so you can reverse these things that are happening or never have to ever deal with them, as well as get that weight down and heal all those diseases and discomforts. And that's going to start with switching up what you eat. Now, let's talk about the foods that allow you to thrive. This is our second category that I wanted to talk about. And these foods are called alive foods, or foods that are nourished by the soil and watered by the rain and kissed by the sun, also known as plant foods. Things like rice and beans and sweet potato and spinach and watermelon, and so much more. These not only turn on the healing mechanisms in your body, but they also help you to regulate the weight while your body's being nourished at the exact same time. Now, why do I call it dead foods, and why do we call these alive foods? Well, these are alive because they're alive. Let me explain. Think about it. If you go to the grocery store and you go to the meat section and you get you a pack of chicken breasts or whatever, and you come home and put them on your counter and you leave them there, what's going to happen to them? If you leave them there for a few days, they're going to start to decay. They're going to start to stink. Probably maggots are going to be in them. They're going to really break down and rot and decay. But if I get some fruit, some kiwis and some mangoes and some bananas, and I bring them and I put them on that same counter and I leave them there for a few days, what is going to happen? Well, they're alive, so they're not going to deteriorate. They're actually going to get better. They're going to be sweeter. and they're going to be more delicious than they were a few days prior. They ripen and they have live minerals and vitamins and antioxidants. And then when you eat those, you in turn feel alive. You have energy, you have vibrance, and you feel great. But when you put dead foods in your body, foods that are going to decay, now they might taste good when you eat them, but when they get into your body, they're going to continue to decay and deteriorate, and you're going to feel tired and lethargic and kind of dead. Now, when we were born, we didn't really come out with what we need to be eating instructions on our hands, but I do believe that there are guidelines that we can follow in order to thrive. And those guidelines are found in scripture. Genesis 1:29, and I'm just going to read it so I don't mess it up. It says, "And God said, See, I have given you every herb that yields seed, which is on the face of all the earth, and every tree whose fruit yields seed. To you it shall be for food." So God's cool like that. God created us, designed us, and gave us instructions about what is going to be the best thing for us to eat so that we can thrive. And even if we never found this in the Bible, or even if we don't even believe in the Bible, God also gave us clues in nature just to reinforce that fact. In fact, there's so many foods in nature that visually look like the thing that it helps to benefit inside of our bodies. Like, for example, the walnut literally looks like a brain. If you crack open a walnut and look at it, it looks like the brain. And guess what? It has omega-3s and omega-6s that help the brain to function optimally. That's wild. And celery, it looks like a bone, right? Well, interestingly enough, it has vitamin K and calcium, and it helps us to maintain our strong bone health. Or a tomato. Tomato has 4 chambers, just like a heart if you chop it up. It's red, just like the heart, just like blood, and it has lycopene, which helps purify the blood and get the blood pumping in the body and makes it really, really healthy. And then there's a carrot. If you slice a carrot and look at it, it looks just like the eye with the pupil and the iris. And guess what? It helps our eyesight and it helps our eye function. Or kidney beans that looks just like a kidney, right? And these also have nutrients that help to provide healthy kidney function. See, nature is designed to even show us visually that if we had no idea what we needed to eat, we can just look at specific things and say, you know what, this looks like this part of my body, so I'm going to go ahead and eat that because it's probably going to help it. Absolutely fascinating. We don't have to guess what we need to eat. As long as we stick to plants, we are going to really win at this weight loss thing and to heal our bodies. Literally your best chance to living your best life, your best slim and trim, pain and medication free life is to consume a whole plant food diet. Now, if you want to transition to this diet and you have some weight to lose and you have some healing that you want to take place, feel free to click the link below. There's some resources down there. And one of the options is to hop on a call with me where we can kind of see where you're at, where you're trying to be, and to come up with a plan to help you to get there. There's also some other resources as well that will also help you get on the right track. So I hope this has been helpful. Thank you so much for watching this video. And if you have found it helpful, please like and subscribe so that I can get this message out and help even more people. And remember, if you didn't come from a healthy family, make sure a healthy family comes from you. So in the meantime, in between time, be well, God bless, and I'll see you in the next video.